The Hobby Plus CR18P is back on the bench. This truck has been refreshed for 2025. This is V3 of the CR18P. This new version is rugged, capable, brushless, and cheap, relatively speaking. Let's check it out and see what we got here. So here's the packaging here. Simple, streamlined packaging. It's got nice graphics on the box. We've got a number of the key features. We've got some specifications on here. This is the T-Hunter. The T-Hunter comes in two different colors. It comes in this tan, also comes in the green. This V3 of the CR18P is also available in the Rushmore that comes in the red and the blue body. Inside the box, we get our detailed owner's manual, get our radio, and of course we get the truck. This comes with your basic wall charger. We got a T-wrench. We've also got the instructions for the Hobbywing brushless setup that this thing has, which we'll get into more in a minute. We get the familiar FlySky 2.4 gigahertz radio. This is a 4-channel radio. Nice little unit here, fits great in the hand. Taking a look at the truck itself, this is the T-Hunter. It's a Unimog style body. Great looking truck. I really like the look of this truck. The styling is nice and aggressive. Very cool looking. They've done a good job with the details on this Lexan cab. They've put on molded details like the snorkel, mirrors. We've got door handles. No interior on this. We've got tinted windows, but there's no interior. We've got molded front bumper with this kind of brush guards, grill guard on here. We do have functional headlights. In the back, we've got functional taillights here. We've got these plastic taillight guards on them. In the back, we've got this kind of molded flatbed design, composite roll bars here. This little box in the back, this is where our battery is. You pop that open. It comes with the 600 milliamp 2S LiPo battery. This is a nice feature in concept, but I find in practicality, it's a little cumbersome. I find it really challenging to get it to close properly. One of the things I really like what they've done with this iteration of the T-Hunter, they've put the body on a hinge with a magnet mount. So very easy to open the body here. Latch is really strong too. It's got tough magnet mounts there, so you can open that up. Access your Hobbywing ESC here. It's one of the greatest features of this truck. We've got the new Hobbywing Mini24 setup here. This is a waterproof, brushless ESC mounted in this little box. This is 2 to 3S capable. We get the 2S battery with the truck, but it can run 3S. The motor, it's a little difficult to see, tucked in there down low and up front. We've got the Hobbywing brushless Outrunner style motor. The truck uses the same aluminum chassis that we had in the V2, the Fury Tech model. This is nice and strong, very rigid chassis here. We've also got a decent amount of shock placements here, both front and rear. So you've got some ability to tune your suspension right out of the box. Speaking of suspension, we've got these big bore oil filled shocks with aluminum caps. Action on these is nice and smooth. These also have preload adjustment on them. This is running a 4-link suspension setup front and rear. We've got a servo on axle design that allows us to run this 4-link setup up front. We've got composite links all around. We do have metal pivot hardware. We've got reinforced slider style drive shafts, and I believe these are beefier than the previous unit. Very similar to the Arcto 6x6 unit, I believe. Those drive shafts go out to the familiar portal axles. Great axles on this truck. I really like the CR18P portal axles. Full metal gears all throughout here. We've got metal gears in the portals. We've got metal differentials. The rear is underdriven by 27% in this model, which is going to make those rear tires spin slower. When your front tires spin faster, it's going to give you sharper turning radius, slightly improved uphill climbing ability. We've also got a counter-rotating rear shaft here in the back to help reduce torque twist. Inside the transmission here behind the skid, we've got full metal gears all throughout. So this thing is reinforced and strong right from the factory. They've taken extra steps to reinforce the drivetrain on this truck. The truck sits on these 1.2-inch plastic beadlock wheels. Those are wrapped in these 60mm tires. These are familiar tread pattern to what we've seen before. They've done a good job making these softer, much softer than in previous versions, which I certainly appreciate. I always felt like this was held back by its tires, and these feel much improved. Chassis also got a 5-degree angled skid underneath here. It's going to give you a little bit of extra clearance when you're going up and over obstacles right there. Let's fire it up here, see it in action. There we go. That Hobbywing setup is excellent. Very smooth. Lots of power, lots of torque. Super smooth operation. Really nice setup. Drivetrain on this is noisy. You can hear all those metal gears moving around. There's a lot of noise that comes from the drivetrain on this truck. One thing I'm curious about is this drivetrain slack. They've been able to improve that. You know, they took measures with the CR18P Pro. Looks like we still got, let's see, they got that. That motor makes a lot of rotations before the drivetrain engages. You see that? I'm pressing the throttle. There it starts to go. So they've improved this. I don't know if they'll ever fully solve it, but they've improved the slop in the drive line. I wonder if they did the larger axle pins on this. Let's see. Yes, it looks like they did. What they've also done with this truck, drilled out the axle stub more to allow for a larger pin. This was another step that they'd taken to try to take out the slack in the drivetrain. Every little bit helps, but like I said, I don't know if they'll ever fully solve it, but I do like that they are actively trying to solve it. Alright, those are some of the key features. Let's do some performance tests and then we'll hit the indoor course and have some fun. Right, on the setup table, let's check out the RTI. While we're going up the ramp here, I did put this on the 4-corner scales. Weight distribution on this out of the box was 58-42. So pretty close to that optimum 60-40 split right out of the box. Up, starting to come off right there. I'd call it 14 on the RTI. Now let's try the side hill. 40, I'd say just about 45. Now the vertical. 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, I'd say 62 on the vertical. On the indoor course with the T-Hunter, so I have never driven a brushless T-Hunter. I have the Franken Evo that we have that I kind of built into my own Evo, but still a brushed setup. So this is my first brushless go around with this truck. Love the power delivery of the Hobbywing system. Great motor and ESC combo. Noisy truck here. This thing has got a lot of noise coming from it. It has that whine from the drivetrain, the ESC and the motor. Electronics are very quiet, but just got that whiny drivetrain. Great steering angle with those axles. Solid turning radius there. Probably the underdrive gears in the rear helping. This truck's also got a very aggressive approach and departure angle. That Unimog style body keeps that front end high and out of the way. Trying to throttle out here. There we go. Plenty of punch out of that Hobbywing setup. I'm just running the stock 2S pack here. The Mini24 from Hobbywing, that is programmable as well, so if you want to spend another 10 bucks or so, you can get the programming card. Nice turning radius up there too. The programming card and unlock some more parameters out of this ESC. Very composed on the decline. We're going to head into Mini Moab. Head into the escalator here. Tons of punch out of that motor. Able to rocket us right over the gatekeeper there. I'm getting quite a bit of lean here. Am I going to be able to stick this? Come back down to earth. Yes. This thing is impressively planted out of the box. You would think with that tall looking Unimog body that it would be super top heavy, but I find it to be very planted, more so than I expected. Let's see how we do here. This is a very tricky section. I'm in trouble. Able to rescue it. Oh, maybe. I'm really relying on that Hobbywing setup to just keep me planted here. I got to get those lugs to grip there. There we go. I'm going to try sending it. Oh, there we go. How about a descent? We'll go down the chute here. It's about 52 degrees at the top. I'll creep it. A little bit of lift there, not bad though. And through the hot tub. We're getting... Oh! So once again, if you saw my comparison video where I did the SCX24 budget build versus the CR18P Pro, exposed one of the weak points on this chassis, which is the links. These lower rear links, man, they are super fragile. Granted, I was being pretty stupid in the hot tub there, but just snap that lower link right off. Alright guys, back in business. I actually bought a couple of packages of these links in advance of this test because I knew that those were going to be a challenge. So we're back in action here. Definitely suggest investing in some metal links or get some extras. Let's try some side hill. And coming across the base of the chute. So this ranges from 36 to 40-ish degrees. Taking a higher line, pretty steep here. Feeling pretty planted thus far. That's good, able to take the high line and stick it. And Hell's Gate. Trying a different line up Hell's Gate, taking advantage of the ground clearance that this truck has. We go right up the middle. Let's see if we can get through here though. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Okay, quick work of that initial section, but I'm struggling here at the top. Trying to get through that hole right there. Ugh. Alright, try number 2. I think the line up the base was good. I gotta get resituated at the top there. Oh, I'm right back in that hole. I think we got it. I can stay planted. Oh no! Oh no. Oh. Alright, we couldn't quite do all the challenge lines on the indoor course. We got really close on Hell's Gate. I think with a couple more tries I could have got it. Really had a lot of fun with this truck. Great RTR at $159. There's a lot of performance, a lot of potential here. Looks great, it's fun to drive, and I really like that Hobby Plus continues to refine this and take into consideration customer feedback. They're trying really hard to refine this platform, and it shows. This still has some flaws, and it still has the slack in the drivetrain, which I don't know if they're ever going to be able to fix just because of the nature of the mechanics on this thing. We've improved the tires. Could still benefit from some aftermarket tires. But love the Hobbywing system. Love the layout. Oh, I'm gonna lean in here. I can send it. Oh, I'm getting stuck on the canyon. This last closeout. Come on, T-Hunter. I'm going to try to get this thing outdoors. The weather is not cooperating in Massachusetts, but we'll see what we can do. There we go. We can get some horsepower there. All right. Had a lot of fun with the T-Hunter, guys. We'll see if I can get it outside, but otherwise we'll wrap it up in a minute. Alright guys, the V3 CR18P is available now. I'll put a link in the description down below on where you can order one of these for yourself. Remember, we got the T-Hunter and we got the Rushmore. I was able to get this out on the rocks at our favorite crawling spot just for a little bit because the weather came in and started to snow and cut our run time short, but nonetheless had a good time with this. Similar driving impressions to on the indoor course. The T-Hunter is very planted, much more so than you would think. It did really good out on the rocks. It's at that nice ground clearance from those great portal axles were really beneficial out on the crawler heaven where we took it. The approach and departure angles as well, especially in the front, coming down some steep declines. That was really beneficial in real world driving. The improvements that Hobby Plus has made to this platform are evident when you're driving it. This is one of my favorite mini crawler platforms, and I love that they just continue to evolve it and take into consideration customer feedback. It does still have some lingering challenges, like I mentioned in the run footage on the indoor course. The slack in the drivetrain, just not sure if there's ever going to be a 100% fix for that. They do continue to make efforts to improve it. Those lower links are a pain point for me too, as I've broken several sets of those on both the CR18P Pro and now the T-Hunter as well. So just be mindful of that. But overall, at a price of $159.99, I think there's a lot of value here. You get tons of great features and capabilities at a very reasonable price. But guys, let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think of the CR18P V3? And as always, I appreciate you guys. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next video.